Have you ever felt guilty for needing help from the people who are supposed to love you? If that sounds familiar, it's not because something is wrong with you. It's because of something that happened so quietly, you never even had a name for it. Today, we're giving it one. Welcome back to The Mind Explained. When most people hear the word neglect, they picture something obvious: shouting, hitting, a child left with no food. But there's a quieter kind of neglect that leaves no bruises anyone can see: the neglect of feelings. You had a roof over your head, food on the table, maybe even a normal childhood in every photo, but nobody ever asked you how you actually felt, and when you tried to tell them anyway, the moment passed without anyone noticing. Psychologists call this childhood emotional neglect. Unlike physical neglect, it's invisible even to the people living through it. Many adults carrying this pain don't even know it has a name, they just know something feels missing. Let's go through the 7 signs. Thing 1. Apologizing for having needs. You ask a friend for a small favor to pick you up, to listen for 10 minutes, and before the sentence is finished, you're already saying, "Sorry, I know this is annoying. Nobody taught you to do this." It grew out of years of learning your needs were an inconvenience. Maybe your parents were tired, busy, or dealing with their own problems, and every time you needed something, you felt like you were adding weight to an already heavy room, so your brain made a trade. It's safer to need nothing than to be a burden. That trade follows you into every relationship you have as an adult. Sign 2. Not knowing what you actually feel. Someone asks, "How are you feeling right now?" And your mind goes blank. Not because you feel nothing, you feel plenty. But naming it is the hard part. Sad, disappointed, hurt, lonely, these words all blur into one generic answer: I'm fine. This happens because feelings are like a language. Children learn to name their emotions by having someone reflect them back: a parent saying, "I can see you're frustrated." If nobody did that for you, you grew up fluent in everyone else's emotions but almost illiterate in your own. Sign 3. Becoming the calm one too early. In every family, someone plays the peacekeeper. If that person was you at 8, 10, 12 years old, that's a sign. You learned to read the room before you learned to read a book. You knew when your mother's silence meant a storm was coming. You became calm, not because you were naturally calm, but because someone had to be, and the adults weren't doing it. That child doesn't get a childhood. That child gets a job and never gets thanked and never clocks out. 4. Struggling to accept compliments or love. Someone tells you, "I love you," and instead of warmth, you feel discomfort. Maybe you deflect with a joke or immediately think, "They don't really mean that." This isn't modesty, it's mistrust, built from a childhood where affection was inconsistent there when convenient, absent when it wasn't. Your nervous system learned positive attention could disappear without warning, so it never fully lets you relax, even now. You wait for the other shoe to drop, even in the safest relationships. 5. Feeling responsible for other people's emotions. If someone around you is upset, some part of you assumes it's because of something you did. You scan their face. You try to fix it, even when you don't know what's wrong. This comes from growing up around emotionally unpredictable adults, where a parent's mood could shift the entire atmosphere of the house. As a child, you had no way to understand their feelings weren't actually about you. So your brain built a permanent habit: monitor everyone, manage everyone, stay safe. Decades later, you're still doing it in offices and friendships that have nothing to do with your childhood home. 6. Preferring to handle everything alone. When life gets hard, your first instinct isn't to call someone. It's to disappear and deal with it alone, even if it takes twice as long and hurts twice as much. Asking for help requires one basic belief: that someone will actually show up. If reaching out for comfort was once met with silence, or "You're fine, stop crying," you learned that people don't come. So you stopped expecting them to, and somewhere along the way, you stopped even letting yourself want them to. Sign 7. A deep, quiet loneliness, even in good relationships. This is the sign that ties all the others together. You can be in a loving relationship, surrounded by good friends, and still carry a loneliness that never fully goes away. Not because the people around you are failing you now, but because a part of you is still waiting for someone from a long time ago to finally notice what you were feeling. That's the wound underneath everything else, not abandonment. Just being unseen for years in a house that looked completely fine from the outside. If you recognized yourself in 3, 4, or all 7 of these signs, I want you to know this clearly. It wasn't your fault. A child cannot make an adult pay attention. You did nothing to deserve being unseen. The good news is that the part of you that learned to disappear can also learn, slowly, to take up space again. It starts with naming what happened, which is exactly what you just did by watching this. Which of these 7 signs hit closest to home for you? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, subscribe to the Mind Explained, new videos every week. Thank you for staying until the end. I'll see you in the next one.